Episode number 216. I went in, and while we worked I looked about me, for it was a den, to be sure. Books and papers everywhere, a broken meerschaum, and an old flute over the mantelpiece as, if done with, a ragged bird without any tail chirped on one window seat, and a box of white mice adorned the other. Half-finished boats, and bits of string lay among the manuscripts. Dirty little boots stood drying before the fire, and traces of the dearly beloved boys, for whom he makes a slave of himself, were to be seen all over the room. After a grand rummage 3 of the missing articles were found, one over the bird cage, one covered with ink, and the third burned brown, having been used as a holder. "Such a man," laughed good-natured Mrs. K, as she put the relics in the rag bay. "I suppose the others are torn up, to rig ships, bandage cut fingers, or make kite tails. It's dreadful, but I can't scold him. He's so absent-minded and good-natured, he lets those boys ride over him roughshod. I agree to do his washing and mending, but he forgets to give out his things, and I forget to look them over, so he comes to a sad pass sometimes." "Let me mend them," said I. "I don't mind it, and he needn't know. I'd like to, he's so kind to me about bringing my letters and lending books." So I have got his things in order, and knit heels into 2 pairs of the socks, for they were buckled out of shape with his queer darns. Nothing was said, and I hoped he wouldn't find it out, but one day last week he caught me at it. Hearing the lessons he gives to others has interested and amused me so much that I took a fancy to learn, for Tina runs in and out, leaving the door open, and I can hear. I had been sitting near this door, finishing off the last sock, and trying to understand what he said to New Scholar, who is as stupid as I am. The girl had gone, and I thought he had also. It was so still, and I was busily gabbling over a verb, and rocking to and fro in a most absurd way, when a little crow made me look up, and there was Mr. Bear looking and laughing quietly, while he made signs to Tina not to betray him. "So," he said, as I stopped and stared like a goose, "you peep at me, I peep at you, and this is not bad, but see, I'm not pleasanting when I say, have you a wish for German?" "Yes, but you're too busy. I'm too stupid to learn," I blundered out, as red as a peony. "Prut! We will make the time, and we fail not to find the sense. At evening I shall give a little lesson with much gladness, for look you, Miss Marsh, I have this debt to pay." And he pointed to my work. "Yes," they said to one another, "these so kind ladies, he is a stupid old fellow, he will see not what we do, he will never observe that his sock heels go not in holes any more, he will think his buttons grow out new when they fall, and believe that strings make theirselves not. Ah! But I have an eye, and I see much. I have a heart, and I feel thanks for this. Come, a little lesson then, and now, or no more good fairy works for me and mine." Of course I couldn't say anything after that, and as it really is a splendid opportunity, I made the bargain, and we began. I took 4 lessons, and then I stuck fast in a grammatical bug. The professor was very patient with me, but it must have been torment to him, and now and then he'd look at me with such an expression of mild despair that it was a toss-up with me whether to laugh or cry. I tried both ways, and when it came to sniff, or utter mortification and woe, he just threw the grammar onto the floor and marched out of the room. I felt myself disgraced and deserted forever, but didn't blame him a particle, and was scrambling my papers together, meaning to rush upstairs and shake myself hard, when in he came, as brisk and beaming as if I'd covered myself in glory.